Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Have you ever noticed this disturbing fact about mirrors?
Do you ever feel uneasy around mirrors? There's a chilling reason why. Mirrors have long been thought to be gateways to other dimensions. In folklore, they have been used to summon spirits or even communicate with the dead. Is it just a story, or is there something sinister about these reflective surfaces? Imagine this. Every time you look into a mirror, something or someone could be staring back at you from another world. This eerie theory isn't just for horror movies. Some people claim to have seen figures or movement that wasn't their own reflection. Could it be possible that mirrors serve as windows, connecting us to alternate realities? This uncanny thought has made many rethink where they place their mirrors and how they use them. And here's an eerie fact. A mirror placed in a bedroom is said to disrupt sleep and absorb negative energy. Creepy, right? So next time you glance into a mirror, remember, you might not be the only one looking.
Mirrors are especially creepy when you walk past them at night. Like when it's dark, it feels like that's not necessarily you in the reflection. It's a little ominous and a little bit, right? I wonder if that's also why they say it's bad luck to break mirrors. And that would suck because in my profession, I've probably on average broken a mirror per day for the last 4 years.
But what's so incredible is that at virtually every location that this megalithic culture moved out is also somewhere associated with the appearance of mysterious light, what we'd call UFOs. We're talking about Stonehenge, Avebury, the Isle of Anglesey in Wales, and the area around the Rudstone. All of these locations are what we would call portals, places where mysterious lights appear and then disappear.
Is it possible that ancient stone circles found throughout the world were once used as portals to other parts of the universe?
That makes me think of like the Asgardian Bifrost. I mean, what if they are actually, portals to other places?
These portal tombs, known as dolmen, are found all over the world. They're a single-chamber megalithic structure, usually comprised of 2 or more upright megaliths, with a large single stone lying flat across the top, creating a table-like structure. But some are much more sophisticated than that. Dolmens are megalithic structures typically built during the early Neolithic period, about 4000 BC, although some may be as old as 7000 BC. These stones weigh several tons. How they were transported and erected by Neolithic people without access to modern technology is still a mystery. But the fact the same structures can be found all over the world, despite claims these people would have never met or communicated, is even more baffling.
I had never heard of those before. Now, I've heard of the pyramids and how there's huge debate over how the pyramids were actually made. But there are other structures. I know there's lots of other structures that we don't know how they were made, but I had never heard of those. And that is interesting how they're all over the world. And what if they did transport them from one place to another? That's fascinating, right?
Ancient Egyptians had access to portals, right?
Yeah.
To travel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you look at the Pyramid of the Sun located in Bosnia, these are European pyramids that nobody's really talking about. There's a valley there with pyramids in the entire valley. It seems to be like 4 or 5 pyramids, massive. But there's one called the Pyramid of the Sun. We discovered that there's tunnels underground that connect all these pyramids there. And in one of those tunnels going to the Pyramid of the Sun was a gigantic crystal called the K2 megalith crystal. And written on it is this writing in runes, which we've been able to decipher, ancient Norse writing. And it says, we must stand in defense until we can open the Stargate. So we know that this stone, this giant crystal is there. We have, anyone can look it up. It's available. It's publicly available knowledge. And the writing and the deciphering of it is publicly available. They're saying that we have a Stargate and we're defending. There's a war going on. This is one of those pyramid wars. We can't go through the gate until we defend it.
That's probably my favorite translation. I know that there are others that take it away from literally Stargate. But we talked about like secret space forces and alien wars and stuff like that. And it's things like that that make you think maybe there's some truth back there. Maybe this secret space force isn't just, a conspiracy theory. It just, there's things that point in that direction, which make it so awesome. I mean, it's terrifying, but it's freaking cool at the same time.
The pyramids of ancient Egypt are full of mysteries, but hidden in the depths of ancient Egyptian tombs, you could find a mystery as intriguing as the pyramids themselves. The false doors. This is a false door, an artistic representation of a door, but it doesn't function like a door. It doesn't actually open or lead anywhere. Used in tombs during the Old Kingdom, the design appeared even earlier, outside of Egypt, in pre-Nuragic Sardinian tombs. But why create these false doors if we can't actually walk through them? Ancient Egyptians believed false doors were indeed a passage between worlds of the living and dead, material and immaterial, a threshold between that which is seen and the unseen. Family left offerings to feed the Ka in the afterlife, and the false door itself may seem non-functional today, but ancient Egyptians used them as a channel for communication, sort of like an ancient computer screen where the living could chat with the deceased. But false doors seem to offer more questions than answers. Are they mere stone or portals to another realm?
The only issue that I have with that is that I don't believe the ancient Egyptians actually built the pyramids. I believe that they were found. So they don't know what those doors were for either, because they didn't put them there. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. I sure am glad you're here. That's all.
Stonehenge has a connection with the influence of Saturn. This comes from a theory that was proposed, I believe, in the 1980s originally, that the inner so-called horseshoe of stones that are made of bluestone, which comes from Wales, which is hundreds of miles away from Stonehenge itself, reflected this influence, and that because they were directional, they sort of pointed towards the influence of Saturn.
Now, if we visualize this on the ground, we need to see that Stonehenge represents Saturn, and it has 30 lintels going around it. And Saturn takes exactly 30 years to make one round of the zodiac. Any astronomer and an astrologer will tell you that's called a Saturn return. It's a 30-year cycle. So I feel that's why there was 30 lintels at Stonehenge. Our ancient ancestors did everything for a meaning. Nothing was by chance. Everything had a metaphysical and a physical property in the ancient world of Stonehenge.
Now, I never knew that people made this connection between Stonehenge and Saturn like that. But I know that people think that Stonehenge is a portal. Now, I'm going to take it one further and make a connection there. Like, is it a portal to Saturn or from Saturn? Like, did we come from Saturn at one time and that's the remains of it? Huh.
Have you ever pondered over the enigma that is Stonehenge and its unexplained precision in tracking the passage of time? This mysterious monument, nestled in the heart of England's green pastures, has baffled historians, archaeologists and scientists for centuries. Its massive stones, some weighing as much as 25 tons, were transported from miles away. But how? And more intriguingly, why? The most compelling theory to explain the purpose of Stonehenge is its role as an astronomical calendar. The stone's arrangement aligns precisely with significant solar and lunar events, such as the solstices and equinoxes. Observing the sun at dawn during the summer solstice, one would see it rise directly above a particular stone known as the heel stone. Similarly, at sunset during the winter solstice, the sun aligns perfectly with the center of Stonehenge. This precision suggests a deep understanding of the celestial bodies and their movements across the sky. But what if there's more to this story? What if Stonehenge was not built by our ancestors, but by a visitor from the future? A time traveler, equipped with knowledge beyond our comprehension, constructing this monument as a guide for his journeys across time. Consider the precision required to align these stones so accurately with the solstices and equinoxes. This suggests a level of astronomical understanding far beyond what we believe was possible for the people of that era.
Well, that's completely different from the theory that I just dropped. It's from the future. That's super cool too.
Points in our time matrix of access to other dimensional worlds or time-space coordinates within a three-dimensional harmonic universe. Portals through time that link a world with other version of itself. The time portal system involves a system of interlocking passageways that keep in motion a set of locks or gates between time elements in your linear time structure within your three-dimensional frequency band. The dimensional lock system differs from the time portal system in that its mechanics operate and maintain the dimensions and frequency bands themselves, linking multi-dimensional universes, not just time zones within the same universe, dimension. Openings that exists between time continua in our time matrix that permit passage between spacetime locations in one universe and one density level. The Stargate and Time Portal's C-dimensional lock system consists of pairs of interconnected, counter-rotating electromagnetic field spirals that naturally exist within sun and planet bodies. Forming a fixed point of space within the 5 densities, universes who of the 15-dimensional time matrix where time cycle and time continua repeatedly pass through each other at fixed intervals. Stargates and time portals exist as a black and white hole pairs that are connected at the center point by a scalar wave frequency seed crystal seal. When the center seed crystal seed releases, the Stargate activates and the pair of counter-rotating electromagnetic spirals merge to form an interconnected Merkaba field, which allows the instantaneous passage between various spacetime coordinates through shift of atomic angular rotation of particle spin arbs. The codes of the time portal system and the dimensional lock system are found within the working of Keylanta.
In the silicate matrix 12-strand DNA resides a latent ability to transmute cellular structure, to traverse the time portals in dimensional lock passageways, without deterioration of the biological form.
Now I'm going to be completely transparent with you here. I'm not 100% certain what just happened there.
Right, so I've been tagged by quite a few people with reference to this story where a gentleman talks about some hippies in the 1970s. A policeman and a farmer, and there being an outrageously bright flash of light and them all disappearing down some sort of time portal. Now, far be it from me to let the truth get in the way of a good story, but there is absolutely no evidence of that at all. Although, early 70s hippies, yes, of course that does work at Stonehenge, but I would remind you there was a large amount of acid being taken at Stonehenge. In 1974, we have our first ever free festival here. The lovely Wally Hope, Philip Russell, is a massive advocate for the taking of LSD and loved a good story. But, no, I'm sorry to say, I've been here 10 years and I've not found an energy portal, although I did have someone trapped in an energy bubble once. Hey, maybe there is something in it. I need to rethink this. Anyway, have a great day.
I just thought that was a cute story. We all know how crazy the 70s were. And if we weren't there, we definitely have heard stories, haven't we? On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.